What is up, my beloved and beautiful troglodytes? Today I'm going to be playing Elden Ring as Patches the Untethered. You know this guy who's like in every FromSoft game? If you haven't gathered, the rules for this one are pretty simple. I can only use gear that Mr. Patches drops for us. When we kill him, obviously. We're going to murder him. He's going to die. I may not have captured Patches' face, but I did capture his soul, and I feel that's what's important on a run like this. You've probably seen the start of Elden Ring about 1 billion times at this point, so I'm just going to speedrun it. I pick up this finger, jump off this cliff. Hey look, Limgrave. Hey look, a church. Hey look, a woman who has a horse. I like the horse. And by horse, I mean torrent. Oh, and why I'm here, I picked up the wet blade. Anywho, time to start the quest for Patches' gear. So I fought this blood guy, who proceeded to absolutely decimate me. Twice, he killed me 2 times. I'm shit at the game, I have a giant skill issue. But I did kill him just after this, so all is well in the world and peace has been restored. Oh, and hey, look, it's Patches' cave. Yippee, Patches' cave. Woohoo, Patches' cave. Woo. I then proceed to rob this chest. Then Patches decided to show his beautiful, beautiful face and proceeded to absolutely decimate me in combat. He killed me. I then decided to come back for my revenge so I could see who the real Patches were. And shocker, I'm the real Patches. I won the fight. And I proceeded to get my armor and my main weapon for this run. And I know what you're saying. Where's the shield? Patches doesn't actually drop his shield. We're gonna have to farm for that later on. You'll see. Stick around, like and subscribe. Anywho, after shamelessly plugging the like and subscribe button, it was time for me to carry on progressing Elden Ring. So first things first, fought Hyde, so I could go get the medallion, where unfortunately, I die. But I did get the medallion, so all is fair. All is good. And while I'm, in the area, I go and grab the Axe Talisman, because you can never go wrong with the Axe Talisman. It's easy to get, and it's pretty good. I also go to this tree to go get these 2 tears for my flask, of which I don't have yet, because they're alright. I mean, here, I might as well pick them up anyway. And then, oh look, it's my wondrous physic. Yippee yippee. Ooh, and a tear of America. Oh hey look, a magical portal. And Godrick, everyone comment, hi Godrick. Hi Godrick. Oh hey look, it's the woman again. The woman then proceeded to take me to the round table hold. I then decided to go do some hardcore parkour down the entire side of Godrick's house so I could go get this talisman, the Dragon Shield Crest talisman. I know I always say it wrong and then I overthink it and say it wrong again. Where I proceeded to do a little bit of ball grinding, where I did die unfortunately, which is extraordinarily rare for me. But I only did this for about 2 minutes so I could actually use my weapon. Anyway, with all that side questing out of the way, I think it's finally time for us to progress the main story of Elden Ring. Woohoo! So I'm back in Stormhill, outside of Stormvale. And oh look, Rodrika. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm still not sure. Oh look, we progressed even more. Now we're outside of Margit's fucking arena. Let's go kill him. Let's murder Morgott. Margit. Ooh, yay, murder. And just like that, I absolutely demolished Margit, as always. Hey, would you look at that Stormvale Castle? Open the gates! I killed Mr. Open the Gates, because he steals your runes if you don't kill him. You actually get less runes from Godrick. I ran through the castle, as you do. Nothing really happens, so that's all you're seeing. And hey look, I'm outside of Godrick's arena, so you know what that means? Time for me to kill him in cold blood. And just like that, Godrick the Grafted became Godrick the Dead, because I murdered him. He's dead. I won. Take the L. Hey, look, we made it to the Liurnia of the Lakes. How awesome. Look at that hard-ass still image, though. I love this game. Anywho, first things first, I grabbed the tier while we were here, because, you know, I kind of needed it. And then I went on a side quest all the way to Weeping Peninsula, so I could go get, first of all, the tier, you know, while I'm in the area. And then I fought the tree boss so I could get the Crimson Burst tier, and the other one, the Opaline Bubble tier, I think it's called, because I love them and they are my favourite tiers. And I also went and got a tier America while we were here. Anyway, with all them wacky hijinks over, I decided it was finally time for me to go to Fort Froth. I still don't know how you pronounce it. I don't think I'll ever know. First things first, I grab the medallion half because, you know, it's important. And then I do all the running about until I get to the, you know, place where the Radahn source seal is, but I do die to a rat, so pros and cons. Then I tried to go through the academy gate before realizing I didn't even have the key, so, you know, I couldn't. So obviously I went on a quest, went and grabbed the key, easy as can be. Anywho, and then came back so I could go through the gate, so I could then immediately go to the Bellum Highway, because I'm on a quest to get the bell bearing. You know, the smithing stone one. And while I was on the Bellum Highway, I decided that I was going to just nip to the Bellum Church so I could get the Tier of America that's located there. Hey, look, the lift to Altus Plateau. Hey, would you look at that, we're now on Altus Plateau. I immediately grabbed all these seeds that are just on the staircase, because for some reason America decided there should be a lot here. And then I beeline straight for the sealed tunnel, because I wanted to go get my bell bearing. If you didn't know, you literally just walk in and grab it, there's no boss to fight, it's just there, it's free. So I prodded these weird looking fingers and spoke to this random old woman, and they seemed a little unsettling to me. But while I was, you know, still at the round table hold, I decided to go grab some upgrade stones, you know, from the bell bearing we just got, and upgraded my spear. I decided it was finally time for me to go back and get my education, so I went back to school, specifically the Academy of Raya Lucaria. So I ran through, you know, nothing really happened, you know, here's the Clipper bee on the left, here's me continuing to run through. Yippee yippee. Hey look, it's the wolf, the red wolf of Radahn. He killed me fucking twice. 2 times this bastard of a dog are a wolf. Are they canines? Are foxes canines? Commented down below. But he killed me twice. I did kill him in the end, so the universe is balanced, all is fair. But this absolute bastard of a hound killed me twice. Anywho, I pulled up at this like base fella and he asked me, hey, do you think them fingers are just a little bit weird? And I was like, yeah, Jake, I agree with that. And he was like, lad. Hear me out here. I need you to go kill Mr. Beast. And he was like, yeah, sure. I've had friends ask for weirder stuff. So I went all the way through Altus, all the way through this portal, all the way to where Mr. Beast was located. Mr. Beast proceeded to then kill me a whole 3 times until we did a last to leave the circle challenge, where I proceeded to stay there much longer than Mr. Beast because I don't have a social life. And then Vase told me to go get the blood of a random woman. I'm starting to suspect that this guy isn't a very cool fella. Anyway, because I lack free will and just do as I'm told, I do as I'm told. So I go all the way to these portal thingies and grab this key and open this portal that's on the screen. So you go back to the first area you are in the game, Yippers, where I proceed to kill this grafted scion, whatever it is, so I can run past him and collect the blood of my already dead maiden. Vase was very happy with my work. He wanted to invite me into his little club, his little gang of gangoons. So to let me into his little club, he decided he was going to break my finger, because apparently that's like their entry ritual. Weird guy, I know. But anyway, he then gave me an item that'll teleport me to his like gang's hideout. He tells me not to use it yet though, because the time will come. So obviously I immediately use it and teleport to Mogwin's palace and go straight to the bird spot. I did proceed to grind for a bit, but instead of, you know, shooting the bird, I just killed the Albinaurics out there, which I think is pretty good middle ground, you know. It's like, I'm still using my weapon, but I still get to grind, you know. Me happy with this compromise. Anywho, with that out of the way, I went straight back to progressing the game, by landing me straight to Moongrum, so I could narc his ass and kill him. I'm murdering Moongrum, and I first try him this time. Nice juxtaposition from the last run I did. Thank God. With Moongrum dead, you all know what comes next. It's finally time for me to take down that bitch-ass spammy lame queen of the moon, Rennala. I just went on like a whole ass nerdy rant about how I think this boss fight could be better. Then I realized, wait, I'm not an entire team of people who've play tested this. There's probably a reason she's built like this, the spammy bitch. Anywho, she's dead now anyway, so I'm gonna stop complaining about her. So I spoke to this random old woman, and she decided she wanted to give me a talisman pouch, which I'm never gonna turn down because they're useful. I decided that Radahn was gonna be my next target, so I headed all the way to Caelid, where, you know, I ran through whatever. Hey look, the castle, Redmane Castle, woohoo. Hey look, Radahn's festival, woohoo. Hey look, it's Blide, woohoo, we love Blide, woohoo. Hey look, it's a random woman who bows, woohoo, we love random women who bow, woohoo. Hey look, it's the jar, we love the jar, we love Alexander, Iron Fist, Warrior Jar, we love Alexander, woo. Anywho, it was time for me to go fight Radahn, where I proceeded to get absolutely shit on. So I was like, yeah nah, and went and got the wet blade that is in Raya Lucario Academy, so I could go get, you know, icy shit on my weapon. So I could stab him and make him cold. I also went and got the Impaling Crust Ash of War because I like the Ash of War and I wanted to use it. Then I proceeded to die another 7 times until this happened. And just like that, Radahn was redead. And just like that, everyone's favourite part of the game can happen. I can finally enter Radahn's hole. Also, before I left Radahn's hole, I had a lovely chat with Blide and Mr. Jarry Boy. I love Mr. Jarry Boy. Comment, I love Alexander Warrior Jar down below in the comments. Hey look, we finally made it to Radahn's hole. Hey look, Nocron, you know what that means, right? It's time for me to go kill myself. By myself, I mean the Mimic, because I absolutely demolished the Mimic tier. I then proceeded to grind for the shield, which I actually got in about 2 minutes, so it wasn't really that bad. And yes, the drip is hard. I then continued onward until I got, you know, the secret side path, so I could do all the hardcore parkour. So I could go get the blood wet blade, the black wet blade I believe it's called, because I want my weapons to be able to proc bleed. And then, you know, continuing with the plot of Elden Ring, I then carried on into Leyndell, where I proceeded just to kill baby Margott. Hey look, it's time for me to go fight the Tree Sentinel. You know, like every other time I play Elden Ring, I died a grand total of 2 whole times. And then, this happened. Yet again, I made the Tree Sentinel my bitch and absolutely decimated him. With the Tree Sentinel put in the grave, I could finally enter Leyndell, royal capital, where I proceeded to run through for a bit until Melina decided to stop me and was like, hey, thanks for the good work. I'm at the tree now. I'm pissing off. Goodbye. And I was like, alright, G, see you later. And I then just carried on running through. Nothing really happened. Peep this shortcut though. Look at that shortcut. And then more running through it until I eventually got to Godfrey, who's a ghost for some reason. We don't question it. I fight him, I die, but then I fight him again, and well, just watch what happens. And just like that, Godfrey was no more. I apparently upgraded my weapon a little bit and then proceeded to grind for a while, and then decided it was finally time for me to go continue the story and track down that Morgott fucker, where I proceeded to die one time. And then believe it or not, you know, I did then fight him again, and guess what? I won. Have a look. You know, with the amount of times you kill this motherfucker, you think he'd get the hint and just leave you alone at this point. He knows he's gonna lose. Anyway, I killed him, obviously, as you've just seen, so we can move on with our lives. Yippee! I then went and poked this tree and proceeded to cut my finger because it's thorny. And then this woman said, hey, if you want to burn them thorns, you're gonna have to go kill this fire guy and then this death guy after. It's a whole thing, so I'm gonna have to give you this medallion so you can go to the mountaintops of the giants. And after getting such clear instructions, you'll never guess what I did next. I went to the Albanuric village so I could kill this old guy so I could get his secret medallion half. I then went back to the round table of hold and killed the bone guy. For no particular reason, just for fun. I then went all the way back to Leyndell so I could go cut down this tree, because, you know, fuck the environment. I'm gonna speedrun this bit because nothing really happens anyway, so hey look, I opened a door. Ooh, yippee, a lift. Ooh, talisman. Ooh, another lift. The Forbidden Lands. Ooh, another lift. And hey, look, we're at the mountaintops of the giants.
May chaos take the world. May chaos take the world.
Quite frankly, I thought this man was just spitting straight facts, so I decided to do exactly what he told me to and go try and find the Frenzied Flame. Then I actually got to the subterranean shunning grounds and immediately died. I was like, maybe I need to go upgrade my weapons first, so I go back, get the bell bearing, yippee yippee bell bearing, and then go to the round table hold where I go upgrade my spear. I decided to head back to the subterranean shunning grounds because, you know, I want the Frenzied Flame ending because I like it. So I opened this gate using this lever, then I opened this door, took this lift, and then it was time for me to go find Morgott, where I died a good 5 times because Sewer Morgott was on some different shit today. But then eventually, this happened. And thus, I had killed Morgott. It's a shame it's not the real Morgott, it's a shame it's like Ghost Morgott, but you know, a win's a win. And then I picked up the Erdtree's Favour Talisman, because I wanted it. And then it was time to do parkour down to the Frenzied Flame, where I died twice, and then eventually, obviously, I got down. And then, hey look, the Frenzied Flame, let me just become crazy all of a sudden. Crazy! And then this woman told me she hates me, and that really broke my heart. So I then ran through the mountaintops of the giants until I got to this church where I picked up this tear and this, you know, side grace. And instead of, you know, doing the obvious and going fighting the fire giant, I decided it was time for me to go conquer Castle Soul, which granted, for the whole running through thing was extremely easy. I didn't die once. Until I got to the godforsaken boss. The amount of times I died to this motherfucker. I'm not going to show them all now because I do try and come back and fight him. Keyword is try. This guy made me consider putting my balls into a blender because it would have been more enjoyable than going back time and time again and fighting this deadbeat ass boss. I went and got bewitching branches, but they didn't even change the outcome. I even went as far to get the cookbook for bewitching branches because I ran out of them. But at last I had failed, I had fallen. Anywho, I decided to go grind for a bit, because, you know, I needed more levels. In between grinding, I decided to go get the Golden Scarab Talisman, you know, for them extra juicy runes. And then I proceeded to grind a little bit more. And then my bloodlust got the better of me, so I then went to the Crystal Mines in Rea Lucaria so I could go kill the Crystallian there, because I wanted that upgrade bell, so I could go upgrade my shield, of which I did, in the clip you're seeing now. I also went and bought the no-skill Ash of War, which I think is a really good, you know, encapsulation of what I am as a person, you know, how I play Elden Ring, with absolutely no fucking skill. And then my dumbass thought that would be enough to fucking kill the boss I was stuck on. How foolish I was in the past. Obviously, I died. And then because that boss was just kicking my shit, and I decided I need a change of pace, I'm gonna go to Caelid, and I'm gonna go do the quest, you know, for that one woman who's like rotting inside. So I go there, and it's like, oh yeah, you have to go kill this guy, and look who I'm fucking fighting, look who I have to go kill. I died. Obviously, I died. I died once. But then I won. I actually defeated this guy, so yippee, I killed a man, woohoo! So the guy in the shack was really happy with my work, so he gave me this secret to this little town. So obviously I ran through and lit all the fires. And then I went back to him so he could give me the repaired golden needle. So I could continue onward to the church so I could help this random woman, who then stabs herself with the needle. And also while I'm here, I pick up this sacred tear. And then, hey look, she's all better now. And then because Patches is such a gentleman, he decided he was going to go all the way to this poisonous castle so he could fight this clean rot knight fella so he could get a prosthetic arm for his new lady friend. And then found the moldy lady in this random shack. Same shack where the bug guy was. Coincidence? Probably. I then found our moldy little friend in Altus Plateau, where I proceeded to give her the prosthetic arm so she could, you know, wield the sword again. Because I'm so nice. I then went and fought this like Godskin fella because I thought it was just a little creepy and I wanted to kill him because I hate the Godskin Duo. Oh hey look, it's my friend again, yippee, I murdered her, she's dead, I fucking killed her, I murdered her in cold blood to get a talisman. This talisman, I can't fucking remember what it's called, it was so insignificant, I murdered her for basically nothing. I do use the talisman the rest of the game, so it was kind of important, but yeah, you know. I then headed back to the mountaintops of the giants so I could go into the Spirit Caller cave. If you know anything about this cave, if you're a long time troglodyte, by that I mean you've watched the Jesus episode, I fucking hate this cave. The other reason the Jesus episode took so fucking long was because of this bastard of a cave. Anyway, so I go into the cave and I first try the boss. I fucking first try. After all the struggle I went through in the Jesus video, this is bullshit and I hate it. And I went on this entire quest so I could get the Godskin Swaddling Cloth Talisman. And I realised now, rewatching my clip, it looks like I just fought a snail. There is actually the Godskin Duo there they have to fight in ghost form. I then decided to go, you know, I had to stop progressing the game, so I went to near outside the Fire Giants Arena, where there's the church, so I could fight this, like, blood guy. The blood guy killed me, but then I killed him, so in the end I win, because I decided these things. I then went into the church so I could get the sacred tear, and then, oh look, it's Fire Giant time. I died a grand total of 3 whole times to the Fire Giant. And, you know, that wouldn't sound as bad if the Fire Giant fights weren't like 20 minutes a pop. But anyway, here's the one where I won, obviously, as the entire formatting of this video goes. Fire Giant, more like, please stand the fuck still so I can stab you instead of running away every fucking single time. Like, goddammit, I know I dodge roll, but goddammit, you don't need to dodge roll too, man. Anyway, I killed him. I then proceeded to give in to my crippling insanity and listen to the flames, where I proceeded to then set myself on fire. And for some reason, burning myself alive then took me to Farmer Azula. I then proceeded to run through Farmer Azula, when not a lot happened, you know, it's Farmer Azula, it's pretty boring up here. I did die once or twice, but I eventually got to the site of Grace outside the Godskin Duo's arena. I was gonna go on this, like, heartfelt rant about how much I hate the Godskin Duo, but I'm just tired. I fucking hate this boss. From design to gameplay to concept, they are boring, they are overdone, they are not a good boss. I hate the Godskin Duo. We came up with this absolutely genius plan where I was going to use the Blood Blade Ash of War. I can't fucking use it on a spear. So, my plan fell through immediately. Yippee, yippee, yippers, yippers. So then I proceeded to grind, because there was no way I was fighting the boss in the current state I was. So then I went and got some more levels. Oh, here's a funny clip of me dying. And then it was boss time. You know, I'm gonna save myself some fucking time editing here, because it was just death, death, death. Ooh, look, I went and got some flowers. Death, 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 death. And look, hey, I'm still dead. Fucking yippity, yippity. My will to play this game was shattered. I actually took about a 5-day break between this and the last recording I did, because I just didn't want to face Godskin Duo. So I gave in. I caved, and I summoned. I summoned this little fella, the little recluse guy, so I could just have this fight go slightly easier for little old me. And it did go easier this time. We actually won. Watch. This victory felt hollow and unearned. I take no pride in how I killed the Godskin Duo, but if you want these videos to take, you know, less than a year to come out, I am introducing a new clause. If I die 15 times with the Godskin Duo, I'm allowed to use the Mimic Tier, because at least then I'm still using the same equipment. Because this boss's bullshit was clearly designed for 2 targets for them to attack, because they don't synergize at all. They fucking one can hit you, and then the other can hit you, and then you're just dead. Anywho, I hate the Godskin Duo. Love you all. Anywho, the bane of my existence now firmly in the grave, I decided I was going to use the ruins that they dropped and the bell bearing that they dropped to go upgrade my spear even more. I then went back to our dear friend Godrick so I could murder him in cold blood. Or should I say, he murdered me in cold blood, because he won, but then I came back and then I killed him, so I could get the last upgrade stone so I could finally max out my spear. Now with my arch nemesis out of the way and my weapon maxed out, it was finally time for me to exact my revenge on Neil. When I get back to that castle, and well, you'll just have to watch what happened. Now, this was a victory that made my heart, you know, feel full of, like, yeah, fuck this guy, we finally killed him. I can finally fucking move on with my life. Hey, look, the secret medallion hat. I used all the runes from the boss fight we just did so I could also upgrade my shield. Then I went to the lift so I could, you know, hoist my new secret medallion. So I could go to the secret road to the Halid tree. Hey, look, fog. Hey, look, less fog. Hey, look, it's a little town I need to go to. Anyway, I entered the Evergoal because, you know, I need to do the puzzle, so I lit one flame. Got some really, really lucky drops. Lit another flame. And another flame. You'll never guess what, I lit another flame. Anywho, time to continue on my quest. So I go through this magic portal because, you know, I like being teleported. And then I get to this cool ass tree. Like, hey, I love trees, you know, nature, I love nature. And then I kill this fat fucking idiot because I hate this guy. Ever since the first playthrough where I just couldn't get past him because I just couldn't dodge the initial bubbles. And hey, look, a sight of grace. Hey, look, me dying. Ooh. And then I finally made it to the lift. I then fought Loretta, where I proceeded to get absolutely shit on, but then I fought her, and I can't be asked editing it, because you know, you don't watch this far into the video anyway. I don't really care, but if you did watch this far into the video, comment, I'm always watching you, I know where you live, and I will, you know, I'll pin it. I'll pin the first person to comment that. And hey, look, I made it to the base of the tree, where I proceed to run. Hey, look, a sight of grace. Hey, look, I died. Hey, look, a poisonous swamp. Run. Hey, look, a room full of bugs. Hey, look, I got the talisman, the Dragon Great Shield Crest talisman. Yippee. And then spend a little bit of my runes, upgrading my shield to the maximum it can get to. And then decided it was finally time for me to go progress the game again, so I ran through Farm Missoula, rode this lift, and hey, look, it's the Tree Sentinel. Hey, look, it's the dead Tree Sentinel. I will start editing this boss fight when Elden Ring puts enough respect in his name to give him an actual boss bar. Hey, look, it's time for us to go fight Malekith. Yippee. Transition. You know it's fucked up when I have to summon for the Godskin Duo, but I first try Malekith. Hey look, the Rune of Death sunbound. Time to go to the Ashen Capital, whippy. Or I would say whippy, if it wasn't for Sir Gideon Olfnir the All-Knowing. I'm going to show you a very short compilation now of me dying to Mr. Sir Gideon Olfnir the All-Knowing. And with my soul thoroughly destroyed, I decided to pull my little socks up and I decided to go fight him again, where, believe it or not, I won. Watch. Transition. Watch. And just like that, Sir Gideon Olfnir had fallen after fucking too many attempts. I hate this guy. Also, I wrote in my notes that apparently I made pasta between the last losing attempt and the winning attempt, and that's the only thing that changed, so I'm thanking pasta for this victory. Hey look, I'm back in Marika's bedroom. You know what that means? I get to go fight a boss that actually fights with honor. I get to go fight Godfrey. And I died a good 8 times to Godfrey, but I'm not nearly as salty as when I was fighting fucking Sir Olfnir the All-Knowing, because, you know, this is an actually good design boss. It actually feels fun to fight. But anyway, here's me whooping his ass. One, if not the best boss fight in Elden Ring. I love that guy. Lore-wise, skill-wise, gameplay-wise, immaculate. Anywho, fuck the Godskin Duo still, I hate them. And with that, my beloved Trogs, it's time for us to go fight the final boss of Elden Ring. Where I die 3 times, and then I'm like, maybe I need to get a little stronger, so I go and get the Wet Blade, one that makes, you know, my weapon be able to do fire damage. I then died 2 more times, and then all of a sudden, this happened. And with that, the Elden Beast had fallen, and we had won, and we had beaten Elden Ring. I'm gonna be honest with you, my troglodytes, I didn't enjoy this playthrough. I don't like the spear, it is not to my playstyle at all. The spear and shield was just not my cup of tea. It was funny being patches, you know, like role-playing them a little bit, but other than that, no, this was not my cup of tea this run. I don't like spears. But anyway, here's what my stats look like by the end of the game. Here's what my equipment looked like by the end of the game, and this is how long it took me to beat the game. And yet again, thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Comment your favorite moment in the video. Anyway, watch the roads, have a lovely night, don't jump off any buildings, don't set yourself on fire, be careful when plugging stuff into electrical sockets, have a good life.